welcome to How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life. My name is Stacey Morgan. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Business Accelerator. You can enroll now. This is your last chance to enroll for our May intake, where we're going to be talking about marketing and messaging. I really hope you can join us. You can enroll now at simplystacey.morgan.com. And you can click on the Learn with Stacey tab. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about mapping out your customer journey. So far, we've talked about the importance of knowing your personal and your company why, knowing the importance and really understanding and communicating your mission, your vision, and your values for your business. And then we also talked about how to create your perfect customer avatar in order to make sure you're really bringing into your business people who are really going to match well with you and with your values. But once you've gone and done all of that, a really important step to do next is to develop your customer journey. And what I mean by your customer journey is mapping out the plan that your customer will take if they are your ideal customer that is going to stick with you for a lifetime. Now, you may have a business or service where you only need to have a customer for a short period of time, and that's okay. Or you may have someone that you are going to be able to nurture and keep as a customer forever. An example of somebody that has a customer for a lifetime is somebody who is buying Apple products, for example. Apple is a great demonstration of a brand that you can have for your entire lifetime. You will always be upgrading your phone or upgrading your computer, going and buying new accessories. And so it's something that if you were the owner of Apple and mapping out their customer journey, it's something that could be never ending. But perhaps if you are a marriage celebrant, you don't have necessarily somebody that is going to come back to you time after time again. You may, but in most cases, you will have one opportunity to really wow your customer, and then they won't be needing your services again. So it's really important that you understand your business and you understand your product and service and understand what the ideal mapped out version of your customer journey is. And it's important to be able to discover what that is, to put it down on paper, and to be able to have it somewhere so that you can keep referring back to it, so that you can make sure that you are always giving your customers a hint or a tip to get from one point to the next, to be able to move from one point in the journey on to the next point in the journey. For us at Port Macquarie Performing Arts, we mapped out our customer journey because we love to get our kids in as young as possible. We have classes in our studio for kids as soon as they can walk. And then we like to take them through a journey all the way through to when they graduate high school at age 16, 17, 18, somewhere around there. And we have different milestones that we've created as part of that customer journey that we like to map out for our students so that they have a really good understanding of what comes next. So they're not ever at a point where they're thinking, I'm bored, or I don't want to do this, or I'd like to try something new, because they know that they've always got the next point in their customer journey to work towards. So when they're very young, we have them in for mini movers and kindy gym classes where they can be there with their parent who is helping them with all of the movement, moving them from one activity to the next. And then from there, they graduate through to our Twinkle Toes and Mini Men classes where they don't need the parent anymore. So that's the next milestone. The parent was in the room to start with, and then the parent steps out of the room. And from there, they move up into our combo classes where they get a brand new uniform, and that uniform has sparkly shoulders and a sparkly skirt. And that is, a really big deal when you're 5 years of age, that you get to go up into a combo uniform and graduate to that next level of class. And then, of course, once you graduate from combo, you get to move up into our junior classes. And in junior classes, you get to wear a leotard with a skirt that is separate and shorts that are separate. And so it's a whole other thing that works into it. And it goes on and on and on through to when they graduate, and the things that they get to look forward to become bigger and bigger deals as they get mapped through that customer journey. And so for us, in terms of my team, it's about making sure that those milestones are really clearly articulated to our customers, to make sure that they really understand what is coming next, and so they know what the things they need to do to be able to get from point A to point B and from point B to point C, what those things are. And they also have them as pointers for not just where they are in the journey, but also how well they are progressing. Because, of course, you don't want to do something like dance for your entire life without knowing that you are progressing and moving forward. And I would say the same thing for your customers as well, thinking about how they come into you in the beginning and perhaps will only be purchasing purchasing a lower priced item, and then will they be able to work their way through your customer journey and work their way to the higher priced items? Is that something that you've really articulated and mapped out for them? So if you don't know where to start when it comes to mapping out your customer journey, how about you start with the experience that they have when they first come in the door? Perhaps you have a product-based business and you have a shop front. They're coming in. What kind of experience do you want them to have? Is this the first time they've heard about you? Are they only knowing about you because they've walked down the street and you've literally been there to walk into? Or have you had Facebook ads running that have been targeted to people like them and they may have seen something online? Do you have a website that they've perhaps gone to and had a look at some of your products before actually coming into the store? And then once they're in there, what is that experience like? What are they going to get from you? How is the customer service? What does the place smell like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What kind of experience are you giving that customer? What kind of experience are they having as they come up to the counter, as they're paying for their item? What kind of packaging is it in? Now, some of these things may seem like really simple things, but they are all milestones as part of your customer journey. So if somebody comes into your store and they're good enough to pick up one of your products and they therefore want to come forward and purchase them, what kind of things can you do at that point in the journey to ensure that they are going to be someone that will return to the store? What are the things that you can do to make sure that you are making them feel special and feel appreciated, and the things that they're going to then go away and talk about you about? Are you wowing them? Have you got something that you are doing at that particular point in the journey to ensure that they are going to be able to come back and they're going to be able to tell their friends about you as well? And then what is the time in between when they've been into your store and then they return? Are there targeted Facebook ads? Did you get their email address so that they're on your newsletter? So are you then sending them coupons? Are you then sending them sales notices? Are you then sending them a regular weekly newsletter that has, great hints and tips on how to use your products or what other products you have in store? And then, of course, when they return again, what's the next step, and how do you then move them through to a customer that's purchasing from you for a second time? All of these things in the customer journey are really important to think about. And if you haven't actually mapped out what your customer journey looks like, including all of those little milestones, I completely encourage you to do so. It's a game changer when it comes to ensuring that you are attracting the ideal customer. And then once you have them in the door, you are nurturing them. Because of course, it's so much easier to get a customer who has already had a great experience with you to come and buy from you again. So much more cost effective than trying to advertise to a completely new cold customer that doesn't know about your brand at all. So think about that retention. Think about that customer journey. Think about how you can get your customers not just coming and having one experience with you and your brand, but continuing to have an experience that goes on and on, perhaps sometimes for a lifetime, like the great brand Apple. I'm a big Apple fan. I'm not sure if you can tell. If you want more information, of course, you can look at the great resources that we have on our website, simplystacymorgan.com. This episode has been brought to you by Simply Business Accelerator, and this is your last chance to enroll in our May intake. We're going to be talking marketing and messaging in May. You can enroll at simplystacymorgan.com. Just click on the Learn with Stacey tab. If you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to take a screenshot and put it on your Insta story and tag us at Simply Stacey Morgan. If you haven't joined our great Facebook group, the How to Run a Successful Business and Still Have a Life Facebook group, I encourage you to do so. We are having lots of great chats inside that group, and it's full of like-minded small business owners. Each week we are here with bite-sized business tips and tangible takeaways to help take your business to the next level. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll speak to you next week.